Okay, so welcome back to episode 28 of the Rookies podcast. I've got a number of new faces this week, so if you didn't join us before, I'm just going to quickly introduce myself. My name's Stefan Scholz. I'm the social media and marketing executive at Cosmos Sports and Entertainment. Joined here by Navjot Bindra, who's our senior account executive. Rajan Randhawa, who's interning as account executive. Charles Locoh-Donou, who's interning as our account executive, and lastly, Deen Pawlik, who's also just recently been hired as our senior account executive. So if you have joined us on past episodes, I kind of like to kind of just break the ice with everyone and maybe give a little bit of background. So I'm just going to go around here, guys, and kind of just ask you if you've had any previous playing experience in soccer. So just to begin with myself, I'm a very big soccer guy. I've been playing soccer since the age of 4. I've played at a bunch of different rep level clubs, played overseas in England for a little bit, played on varsity teams at university and college. And that's pretty much the extent of my experience playing soccer. I'm just going to pass it over to Raj. Do you have any experience playing soccer at all, Raj?
Only Sunday league. That's
Only
it.
Sunday.
Just casually. That's the only experience I've got.
Cool. What about you, Dean?
I played in like elementary school, when you would, score 3 goals against all the girls and then kind of sally too a little bit too hard. But I only got into soccer recently, kind of during COVID. It was the first sport that came back and, it kind of got my attention. I started watching it, started following it a lot better now.
Awesome. Yeah, I know the elementary school. For us, it was the English versus the French. Nav, what about you?
Yeah, I played soccer my whole life too. House league starting off with, and then I played rep for a few years as well. School soccer, all that good stuff. Big soccer guy too, just like you, man.
Awesome. And Charles?
Yeah, same as you, Stefan. Like I dreamed to be a soccer player when I was young, and actually I was born in France, but I went back in Africa and I moved back to Paris to play soccer in academy in Paris. And I played at Le Mans for 1 year and went back to Paris and play until my 16 and move into another direction. But big soccer guy. Soccer is my first passion in sport and still the sport that I watch the most.
Awesome. I didn't know you actually played at a academy level in Paris. That's awesome. So just one more question before we get started. I kind of just want to get a feel for what leagues you guys are into. So I know quite a few of us are pretty big on the English Premier League, but is there any other leagues that you kind of stick around for, or just stay on Premier League?
A little bit of La Liga, I'll mention that. Sorry, Rajan, you can go.
No, I was gonna say the Liga, Bundesliga, that's about it.
Yeah, same for me. Whenever I guess Champions League is kind of vamping up, I'll watch a little bit of the La Liga, the Liga 1, and the German league as well, and of course the Serie A as well.
I love the League 1 for me because I I grew up in France, Paris. So yeah, it was just in the championship that you have all year, right? And now that you have one big team in the in the championship that is like attracting a lot of media, is just fun to watch as well. La Liga obviously cannot watch soccer without watching Madrid against Barcelona, right? So
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm probably if I had to choose a second team, I'd go with Bayern Munich. My dad's from Germany, so I like to watch Bundesliga from now and then. But also championship. My mom's actually from Birmingham, so I've always kind of been forced to watch Birmingham City play. So it's kind of cool just to see like the different areas in which people watch. All right, so just moving on to our first topic. We're probably gonna kind of touch upon a number of different topics here. We're gonna touch upon EPL, we're gonna talk about TFC, and also we're gonna start here with the Canadian soccer success. So obviously all the hype around the men's team right now, but even before that, I just wanted to quickly touch upon the women's team. Finally winning a championship game for the first time in quite a while. beating out Sweden. Was it Sweden in the final? Yeah, I think it was.
It was Sweden.
Yeah, and finally beating US before that. Yeah,
the US in the semi, and Sweden in the final. But actually, they lost against the Sweden. I think it was 4 years before at the Olympics. The previous leagues, I think they lost in the world champion. I forget what is the game that they lost against them, but it was a kind of revenge. This game was the revenge of the Canadian team.
oh, for sure. Yeah, came back, beat the US, beat Sweden, beat everyone that beat them before. Anyways, I just wanted to just kind of get your thoughts on it. Did you guys watch the game at all?
I didn't watch
didn't?
it.
I watched it. I watched part of it, but not fully. But it was a good.
Yeah.
The level at which they're playing now is just good to watch. Very good to watch.
Yeah. So I remember watching them play. I think it was in the Olympics in London quite a while back. I think it was 2012 or something like that. But watched them play there, and then compared to seeing them play now, it was kind of scary to see how much they've improved in that short amount of time. Have any of you guys seen them play before at all, or?
Honestly, I didn't before, but as they started doing good, man, you've definitely heard about it. Obviously, I watched the Sweden game. I know that. I think I want to say I watched the USA game too. I can't really remember that much, but no, definitely they have a few good players on that team. It's fun to watch, man. It's soccer. It's Canada. You gotta watch. You gotta represent it. So
Of course, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't Naps, like I don't watch much of it, but it's like you kind of hear about like that they're doing well, and then you kind of keep up with it, just like general knowledge of it and see how they're doing. It just builds interest from everyone, from people like me who don't even watch, just like kind of paying attention.
Yeah, and I've been to a game actually. They had like a friendly, just like a exhibition game in Hamilton. I must say maybe 3 or 4 years back, and we got some tickets, my friends and I, and it was a really good game. I used to work for the Ticats, so I saw some friends too, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely really cool to see. And because I've been like so involved with Mississauga soccer and Toronto soccer, I know quite a few women who have played against these players. And they said like they're just on a completely different level. It's almost scary to see sometimes, and you kind of just want to see how you compare to them. So it's definitely cool to see that.
Well, think about like where Jordan Hoedsma is right now, like the girl on PSG, like that team is by far and above the best women's team. And what is she, like 21?
Yep.
The Canada women's, national program is in great hands, because they had like Christine Sinclair, who was a leader, and really helped develop the country and get it kind of in the spotlight, especially for young women to look up to. And look what she created. Basically, Jordan Hoedsma, all those young players, they're going to be real good for Canada coming up.
Absolutely. And I don't think it's just the women's team too. I think just moving on here to the men's team now, it's scary how far they've come too. I think it was like 1 or 2 years ago, they were ranked like not even in the top 100 or something. I think they were ranked 80th or something, and now they're ranked quite a much higher. I think they're where are they at now? I think they were like 59th or something.
Yeah, and
a lot better than before. That's definitely for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're only going to get higher because their team is so young. All their young superstars are just coming up with, Alfonso Davies, Kyle Laren, Jonathan David. They're all, making huge impacts now.
I think we're ranked at number 40 now.
Yep. Yeah, they made top 50.
We'll take it.
We're coming higher though.
Soon, hopefully. Man, they're looking good though. Jonathan David, he's actually him and Alfonso up top, or wherever Alfonso plays. I swear he just plays wherever they need him to play. I see him everywhere. But no, I think they're in great hands. Jonathan David, isn't he the leading scorer in the French league right now too? I'm pretty sure he's got like 10
like
goals.
10, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's 10 goals in like 14 games played, and he's leading. So I mean, Canada's looking good, man.
He plays for Lille, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, he's gross. He's what, 21, 22, something like that?
Yeah, man, he's like something like that. He's ridiculously young. It's crazy.
What were you guys doing at 21?
I'm 21 right now. I'm right here. I'm talking about him. I wish I was there. Like Charles mentioned, I had dreams that I was going to become a professional player too, but guess not.
Yeah, it's crazy to see because I've grown up in the Canadian soccer development program, and like compared to now, compared to when I was receiving training, it's just completely different. Like I remember, like I would show up to practice, and at a rep soccer practice, this was like, I think we were playing OYSL then, like probably one of the best leagues in Ontario.
It is the best.
It is, yeah, playing against the best teams in Ontario, and my coach would pull up with empty beer cans in the back of his car, like just came off a bender. It's just completely different now. Like you see kids developing at way younger ages. You see players like Alphonso Davies just absolutely tearing it up in other leagues now. It's just I personally wish I'd received the kind of training they have now at that age.
Now, Stefan, did you play against anyone like noteworthy?
Yeah, so I played against Edwards. Is it Raheem Edwards? I don't know if you guys know him. He played for TFC a while back.
I can't remember who TFC center back is either. I played against him. He's on I believe he played for the Brampton Beast. Luke something, I think his name is. I can't quite get his name onto him. I played him. I was watching a TFC game and I saw him playing. I'm like, bro, what the hell? Like, I swear I played against this guy.
Yeah.
How crazy is, like, how different is it playing? Like, you see, like, obviously OYSL, like, you guys are real good, but then you go out step above to, like, because you said to me the other day you played against Jonathan Osorio too. Like, what was it like playing against those guys?
It's definitely, you can definitely see them stand out at a young age, right? Like I remember not necessarily Jonathan Osorio, but there's another guy, Frazier. I can't remember his first name. But Frazier, he's playing at Celtic right now. And I remember playing against him in OYSL finals, and this guy did a Rabona over our goalie. And I just stood there like, what did I just watch? Like, what just happened? It's just like, it's so clear to see that they're going somewhere, that it's just from an early age, like you see that they're on a different level.
I will say that you don't see that all the time. I play against players that you maybe you guys know, if you know the league. Actually, you might know Atem Ben Arfa. You know Atem Ben Arfa, right? Yeah, Atem Ben, who play at Bolton. I play against him, and he was exceptional, like since very very young. But I play against a guy called Chantôme. He never played but he played for PSG, for example. And he was average. He was average, but the consistency and the work he put him where he is right now. I also play a guy I had teammates with who I played who was average. So in my view, in the team, and he's the one who went the furthest. He's playing out for the league too, and it's not. I think it's also about your willingness to do it, and the people that you have behind you at the young age, and the consistency that you're putting on soccer. Soccer is a lot of luck, I will say, but also a lot of work and consistency on what you want to do.
Absolutely. And I think that's a huge part of it that kind of separates those players, is the work ethic that they're willing to put behind it. So just moving on a little bit here, I just wanted to continue talking about the men's soccer team. Do you guys think that they're going to qualify for the World Cup?
Yeah, I think they'll do it. I think it'll be exciting to watch.
Yeah. Now that they have the lead on the stand, they cannot, like, we expect them to be qualified. That's the thing now, right? You just beat the Mexico. Now we expect them to be qualified, and it's gonna be a kind of the deception if they're not. But it's already good that just to see them at this level is just encouraging for the future.
Did all you guys watch that Mexico game?
Oh yeah.
Turned off at the last like 15 minutes. It was nerve-wracking.
The ending
Like-
was the most crazy part, though.
The group is still kind of close.
Yeah,
How many games
that's
is left
great.
in the group? Because there's only like a point separating them from
There's
US and 2
6
points.
games left.
Yeah, say like there's still quite a bit that could happen. Like there's still
Mhm.
such a close. Only 2 points separates them from fourth.
Yeah, like I definitely agree with you guys. I think they're gonna make the World Cup. It'll be interesting to see what their group stage is gonna be like. I hear a lot of people like on Twitter, social media, they're like, oh, Canada only won because of like their weather, but like what they went like a week or 2 weeks before to Azteca and took out a draw. Like that's one of the most like crazy stadiums in the whole world, and for Canada to come out with a draw just shows how much maturity they've came up through.
Yeah, absolutely. So just like kind of continuing on that conversation. So if they do qualify for the World Cup, how do you think they're gonna do? Like, how do you think they're gonna place in the actual World Cup if they do qualify?
I
would
don't
say-
think it's gonna be I don't think they're gonna place well, but I think it's like you're gonna get that experience now and then prepare them for 2026. Like it's just I think it's a good tester for them to get a little bit of experience in it.
That's all I wanted to say. Like, it doesn't matter. I think when you just qualify for it, that's the first step of being a team that is valued to play at that level, and then you have to be there consistently. And if you're there consistently, you will see the improvement on the way they play on those. I mean, this is the top level. Though you won't expect them to be qualified for it and being performing. Like that's gonna be the bonus of it. But just being there is crazy. It's good. It's good for the country. It's good for all those young kids who want to play soccer. Right? It's just the best exposition possible.
Yeah, I definitely agree with the guys. I don't think Canada's gonna win the World Cup anytime soon, but I think it's just more exposure, and even if they go 0-4, that exposure is way more important than if they get 0 points or if they only get a tie or a single win. I think the big thing that they're really wanting to jump on is the exposure, and like it's going to help grow the game in Canada even more with like Alphonso Davies, Jonathan David, all these guys who are becoming in the limelight now.
I honestly think they can keep a few games close. Like they're not like they're pretty good, man. Like obviously if you're qualifying, you're definitely a good team. I'm not sure if they're gonna win all their games, but I'd definitely say like it'll be close, like a 1-2, 1-0, 2-0 game, or either way,
It's all going to come down to like who gets in their group stage with them.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
they could be in the group stage of death, or like they could have like where it's like one team that's like clear and above everyone else. Like, if like Italy is like the top seed, and then it's like 3 kind of like like similar teams of Canada.
Well, we'll see if Italy even makes it to the World Cup now.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Italy and Portugal in the same bracket, and then what is it? Portugal has to beat Turkey, which is no like easy feat.
If you want to go up there showing from the Euros, it'll be a very easy feat.
Yeah, but won't be. It won't be. Definitely won't be. But I agree with Nat there. Like, I mean, once you're there, you play the game. You play, you can win, you can lose it, and it's high level, right? It's just details. I think it's just going to be, but it's just fun to watch them play at the World Cup. And now that I'm here, I just want them to be there so bad. So it's gonna be cool.
For sure. Yeah, I definitely agree with what some of you guys say, but like you never know. They're competing with Mexico and US who have both qualified before and have previous experience, and they're actually competing and beating these teams. So I'm definitely interested to see how they're gonna do this year. Well, next year.
Did you guys see how their USA game is at the Tim Hortons field in January? I'm definitely gonna go to that.
Oh, I'm
I have
absolutely
to.
getting tickets. I'm from Hamilton. It'd be a disgrace if I didn't get tickets.
Yeah.
Nav, we'll go together.
Yeah, we should, man. Honestly,
I'm down. We'll
I'm gonna face paint everything. I'm gonna
Oh,
go full
I was
out.
gonna go shirtless. So
I'm counting you on that now.
So talking about kind of these home games or kind of around the neighborhood, just moving on to TFC right now. So I kind of want to get your thoughts on this because I went to a game recently and was very, very disappointed. So what do you guys think is going on with the team right now?
I don't follow TFC too much, but it's kind of weird to see how they've gone from making it to the finals of like the North American version of Champions League to just performing this poorly. Like I find it shocking how like a team that is that big can be run that poorly and like to get to that point. I just find it shocking.
I agree, but I think they're in the like they just did a step of in the right direction because they just hired Bob Bradley, who is known in the MLS for being a very, very good coach. So I like that they made that move. But they also have to make, some transfers, some signings for sure to get back on the right foot.
Yeah, it was an embarrassing season.
Poor season, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think they finished second last in their conference or whatever. But I'm not sure if you guys heard, but like I've heard a little bit of reports of Lorenzo Insigne and TFC linked. Have you guys heard about that?
I saw one small rumor, but I don't think there's a chance in the world that
No,
that
I don't.
happens.
Yeah, no, I heard like Napoli said that they're gonna only way they'll sign him is if he takes a 50% pay cut.
There
like
will be
he's-
other European teams who will snap him up easy.
Yeah, exactly. He's still making like 4 or 5 mil a year, but hey, you never know, man. Like Giovinco came to TFC, so
Yeah, well, like I don't know what happened with that deal because he was good enough to stay in Europe. I don't know,
100% easily.
that was weird.
He wrecked that league when he came too. I think didn't we win that year too?
Yeah. And then like same thing, like Jermaine Defoe came to TFC. I mean, he was a little bit older, but he went back to I forget what.
Yeah, he went back to
It was
England.
Southampton, wasn't it?
Oh,
Celtic.
Celtic. No, it was Rangers. It was Rangers he went to.
Oh yeah, it was Rangers, and he went back, and he still was a starting 11. So the fact that these guys are coming from
It's signings like Jose Altidore that they need to keep doing.
Mhm.
Like they may not be performing as well in Europe, but like as MLS is like developing, they can come to MLS and just perform at a higher level.
He's leaving too, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so we got a spot for Insigne now. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, I think everyone's hoping we'll get that signing. Okay, so lastly, moving on to the before our predictions, I just wanted to talk about the EPL very quickly. So first off, is there any surprise standing so far? Like, I'm obviously going to start this one off with West Ham sitting in 4th place right now. It's unheard of. What do you guys think about it?
I think David Moyes is finally he's a good manager. And he's finally had, I guess, a little bit of time at a team like West Ham. So it's just good to kind of see him just doing this thing because he got kicked out of United. And when he was given an aging squad. But when you look at the West Ham team, it's good, but it's not 4th place good. So I think, like we mentioned the other day, we'll see how it goes from December to February, see how they come out of there. And then we'll see if they're really going to stay in that position or not.
Yeah, like West Ham has such great depth, and they've really shown it not only in the league, but they've also shown it in the Europa League as well.
I don't know if you guys remember what happened the year. I think it was 2013, right? Right when Leicester won the championship. So that year we were like, nah, you know what? They December gonna come. They're gonna we're gonna see at the end of the standing. But they kept up and they won the championship. So I'm not saying that West Ham is gonna win the championship. The only thing is that they play in teams like no teams is playing right now. Like all of them are focused on one goal, is trying to win the game, and there is no real superstar in the team driving everyone, right? So yeah, let's see. I'm not seeing them doing more than 4, but
and Charles, you just brought up Leicester. Another surprise to me is how poor they've played so far. Judging back past the past couple of seasons, you'd expect them to be a lot better, but they just look so inconsistent right now. What do you guys think?
I think so as well. That's the thing. But it's just so odd because they're competing against these strong teams. Like they beat Liverpool 3-2, they beat Tottenham 1-0. Like they're still competing with these top teams. It's just the inconsistency that's killing them right now.
I think it's the way they set up. Like if you're gonna play on their break, you're gonna do well against those good teams who put pressure on you. But as soon as you come up a team who sits back as well, maybe they just don't know how to beat a low block. And that's just probably down to Rogers' coaching. Because they
I
definitely
think
have
for
players
me,
technically good enough.
yeah, I think for me though, most surprise is Man U, man. Like I don't like them. I'm glad they're doing terrible. They're not even top 5. They're not even top 6. They're like 8th, I'm pretty sure, 8th or 9th right now. So like that's what I'm surprised about, man. They have a good team on the sheet, but whatever. I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I think it's. Sorry,
Go
go ahead, Charles.
Go ahead, Stefan. No worries.
I was just going to say, I think it's kind of the same deal as TFC. They're just going through management change right now. And it's just like, obviously with Man U, it's more recent and they've just received a recent sack, but it's just that kills you when you're going through management changes. And there's obviously like it got more and more obvious that he was getting kicked off. Right. So with that, obviously the players are going to feel different. They're going to start being like, oh, we're going to have a different coach soon. Like it all comes down to that management change. And that's what's kind of messing with those teams.
Yeah. And they're only 3 points behind the 5th place, right? So the season is long again. It's very long. It's December and back-to-back games, and you're going to see a team losing some points. And I'm pretty sure that you're going to end up on the top 5 this year.
Yeah, they're definitely going to turn it around.
I do think though, like with United, it's not just always the problem. There are so many different things. I don't think his coaching staff is good enough. Like just because Ollie's gone, why is his coaching staff all of a sudden going to make any change to this interim period? We're going to see what Ralph Ragnick does. His only trophy he's won is with the Intertoto Cup in 2000. This guy has a huge reputation, but he's never really. I don't think he's been at like a huge club before. So I get he has good talent identification, which is why he's going to do well in his consultancy role. But as a manager, it'll be interesting to see. These players aren't going to suit his style of football. He wants to play high intensity. You're not going to get that out of Ronaldo, but it's Ronaldo, so whatever. But you're not going to get that out of Pogba. Fred and McTominay aren't going to have the IQ to play this football. Like Wan-Bissaka doesn't have a touch on him. He just tackles. Like this manager, yeah. Sorry.
Maguire's too slow.
The management changes. It's not. Most of the time is not, oh, a new trainer, I'm bringing my style and you, it's they're gonna follow my style and then we're gonna win. It's not like that the first year. It's just like Stephen mentioned, it's just the psychology changing on the player side. Okay, there's a new trainer, he's making the choice, I have to perform better if I want to be in the team. That's how it starts, right? That's the shift that you have when you change the management. You have many examples of manager who arrives and the team starts winning for no reason. They're not like changing the way they're playing. It's just the shift that make that. And I'm pretty sure that it's going to impact the team at some point. Yeah, I agree with you. He doesn't have the experience to coach the Pogba, the Ronaldo, but doesn't matter. It's just that I think they were not in the psychology in the right place to be able to win games. So maybe it's going to happen now.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I don't think their players are good enough to for top 4 this year.
Yeah, and even if the coaching change doesn't do well, it's only interim. Like I've heard they're looking at what the PSG coach. What is his name?
Pochettino.
Pochettino and
looking at Zidane too.
And
I heard he doesn't even want to come.
Aren't they looking at Eric Ten Hag?
Well,
I heard many names, but
yeah, one up.
He's so good. He's so underrated. The Ajax coach.
Yeah, but that's what happens when you have like a whole system in place and you don't sway away from it no matter what.
I'm pretty sure this PSG coach said no, like he's staying. And I don't think Zidane's going to come to Man U, honestly.
No, Zidane is waiting for Deschamps to not win the World Cup next year and take his place. He won the French team. That's the next step for him.
I don't think he'd want to go PSG because isn't like I don't know how you pronounce it. Leonardo, is that the director of football there, Charles? Yeah, isn't he difficult to work with? Everyone keeps saying he's difficult to work with.
He's the best thing that happened to Paris the last couple of years. But people can say whatever they want, but he's the guy who brought Verratti, Ibrahimovic, Marquinhos, those guys who built the team, and the team is built around. So it's Leonardo who brought them. So they can say whatever they want. It's just that he's still the what is the name in English again? Kind of the sports manager,
Sporting director?
yeah, sporting director.
Yeah.
So you won't you can do whatever you want. You have to work with him. That's it.
Yeah, like not even on that side though. I think it was just saying that him and Tuchel had a falling out, and then who was it before Tuchel? I think he just had a falling out with the managers. I think that's the only thing I read about him. That was like the issue.
But he was suspended for a very long time. He came back only 18 months ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Suspended, and then he went back and worked, I think, with Milan, or I don't know which team again. He came back only 18 months or 2 years ago. Yeah.
All right, so I just kind of wanted to just speed things along here just because we're running out of time a bit. So just wanted to touch upon a few more things. So first off, the Africa Cup of Nations. I heard there's going to be a number of very good players missing from these Premier League clubs, and they've got some important games coming up. What do you guys kind of think about this? Like, I know a lot of people have been kind of complaining, saying that it's not as important. What are your guys' thoughts?
I mean, like, they want to play for their country. They want to, like, these players want to go to the World Cup too, right? So, you know, I know Liverpool is going to get hit hard with Salah, no Matip, and no Sané. You know, I get it that, you know, the EPL fans, like the Liverpool fans, they probably don't understand. You know, like, they're like, oh, like, why would they want to play for their, you know, their country? Like, their club is like shown more support, but like at the end of the day, like, they want to support their country more than anything.
I think the whole footballing world needs to kind of fix up the scheduling. I don't know, like 2022 World Cup shouldn't be happening December. They shouldn't be happening in January. They need to like kind of fix it. But like from a sporting perspective, money wise, you're paying, like, you're signed to this team, and if it's gonna affect your result at the end of the season, it's costing you money or it's earning you money. So it is like more important going above, even if they want to play for their country. So if I'm a club, I'd be annoyed at it. But obviously you understand why they want to go. But I think it's just up to FIFA to kind of figure out the scheduling to fix it.
But it's not, because it's on the schedule. So you can't say that it's more important because your team is paying more than what every club's paying more than what you get in your national team. Every club, like, actually, you're not earning anything in national teams. You're earning. The federation is giving you. So more you win games, you have like kind of bonuses per game that you win. It's not that you have a salary or something like that. It's not. That's how you get paid. And most of the time, what the federation have an agreement, actually in France, how that work, you have an agreement with the players, and sometimes part of the money goes to how do you say that, donation and stuff like that, because you don't need that money. Really didn't.
Yeah, I'm saying if you're signed to me for 5 years, I'm gonna want you playing when I need you. Not you shouldn't be going during the middle of the season.
Like that, because you have the FIFA, right? You have to go play at the highest.
Of course, yeah, but as we know, FIFA doesn't really care about anything other than money.
Yeah, but you still have to go play for your country, right?
I get they want to do that, but like, it's just so, like, if you're at this, it's how many years of this? Like, I'm sure they can come to a solution where it doesn't have to be interfering with anything.
Yeah, so they have to change the entire calendar. So it means it's not only the African Cup, it's like the World Cup, it's like the Euro Cup.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that. That's what I was saying before. All that has to change. World Cup shouldn't be happening during the middle of the season at all. It's ridiculous.
Players are more like subjected to get injured and stuff like that too. So I see where Rajan's coming from.
You're seeing more and more heart injuries, like Aguero is having to retire now. You can see players are being overplayed.
Yeah, I'm agree with that. The number of games that they're playing, if you want to reduce the number of team that you have in the leagues. But you won't be able to say, oh, we are paying you more, so you have to stay to play here for us, or you cannot go play for a country. First, it's stupid, and second, it's not ethical at all. You cannot, like, because the championship, when the players go during the season, go play an international game in South America, like 12 hours or 15 hours of flight, and stay there for a week or two, it came back, they're completely broken, and they have the fatigue. You cannot avoid that, at least if you're not preparing the calendar in a certain way, right? So doesn't matter how much the clubs are paying, that's not the issue. It's how the calendar is done, right? It's not who is paying you more, so you have to stay
I
there.
never said it's about them paying more. I'm saying if you're paying Jack Grealish 100 million, you're gonna pay that much, and throughout those fights, you're gonna want him there when you need him, as is any sport, any team.
Yeah, but you're not owned by the team.
I'm pretty sure I'm saying if I'm paying 100 million for you, you're gonna want him there when you need him. Again, with the scheduling, if you're gonna have this much scheduling in during the season, leading to injuries, coming back from these injuries, then what? You're gonna have a player out because all these unnecessary international friendlies that they have already.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a schedule issue. It's not how much you're paying the players. But that doesn't matter.
But that's what my point was, though, was the scheduling issue. That's what the point I made.
Yeah, if you're saying that it's the scheduling issue, yeah, of course, I 100% agree with that. Like, it's the schedule that is making an issue there.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that the players are definitely overworked way too much, way more prevalent to injury. Like, there's already way too many injuries. Like, look what happened to Eriksson, like almost died on the field because like they're clearly being overworked. It's scary how much they have to go through. Like it's games on top of games on top of games on top of training. Like whenever they're not playing games, they're training. It's like, I don't know if that's what it takes to get to the top, but it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, like
All
Daily Blind has a pacemaker. Ericsson's gonna have one. I don't know what's going on with him, but like now Guerrero, like it's just a trend that like kind of needs to be sorted.
Yep. And it seems to be happening more recently. All right, so just to kind of wrap things up, we're just going to move to our predictions now. We've kind of done this with all the other podcasts as well. We just have a few topics here just for some quick predictions from all of you guys. So I kind of want to do this in order. So I'm going to start with my own prediction. Then we're going to move to Raj, and then Dean, and then Nav, and then Charles is going to end us off. And then we're going to move to the next one. Okay, so first off, favorite teams, pretty simple one. We're in it right now. Liverpool FC, it's my favorite team.
Unfortunately, I'm an Arsenal fan.
Very unfortunate.
I am the up-and-coming Wolves fan.
Real Madrid.
Arsenal.
EPL. It's got to be EPL.
EPL, I'll just hop on Chelsea's bandwagon. Or Liverpool.
Charles, what was yours?
Arsenal. So
Arsenal as well.
yeah.
Awesome. And then who do you guys think is the MVP for this season so far? I'm going to start us off with Mo Salah. It's got to be 11 goals in 12 games. He's killing it this season, as per usual.
I'll go with like a very different opinion on someone who just kind of like shown his doubters that he's actually a pretty good player. I'll just go with Ramsdale because he's playing out of his skin and he got a lot of abuse for when he signed originally. So it's good to see him playing well.
Yeah, Stefan, as much as I hate to admit it, it's got to be Mo Salah. I think, you could definitely argue that he's one of the best players in the world right now, too. So, not only is he the MVP of the EPL, but probably, top 3 in the world right now for sure.
No question, Mo Salah for sure.
I mean, I'm a big N'Golo Kante fan. He missed a few games this year at the beginning of the season, but for me, he's the type of player that he will never. Actually, he already won the best player of the league, I think 3 or 4 years ago. But now that he already won that, he will never win it again, even if he's exceptional playing at the same level.
He's a great player though, still.
Awesome player.
Okay, so next one is best young player. So I've got Amad Diallo, 18-year-old winger, playing on Man U right now. He hasn't had much playing time, but unbelievable player for his age. It's scary.
I'm
Who
gonna
do you
have to
guys
go. I'm gonna have to go with Saka. He's 20. He's 20 years old. He's gonna be the future of England's wing. So he's easily good enough.
Yeah, mine's definitely Phil Foden. For for being such a young player, he other than De Bruyne, he definitely kind of carries the attack with Man City.
Yeah, I got Aaron Ramsdale. Honestly, he's made some crazy saves already. Like that free kick against James Madison is probably like the best save we've seen so far. So I got my money on him.
Yeah, I'm going with Saka as well. And I mean, he's probably very biased, but he's the guy who I think is gonna lead the England for the next years. And he's a top player, man. He can do everything on the field, and he's smart enough, I think, to be able to play at the highest level.
Absolutely. Next one is defensive player of the year. So similar to what Charles was saying, I've got to go with João Cancelo. He's Man City, 6 goals against this season. They're destroying everyone on defensively. Like it's just unfortunate that they can't score goals, but like this guy can do anything. He can play fullback, he can play center defensive mid. It's kind of scary how flexible he is.
I'm gonna agree with you due to some recency bias because these past few weeks he's been putting up assist numbers like it's nobody's business, like he's playing in the midfield for them or something. So if he's playing that well defensively and he's putting those numbers up going forward, it's just mad to see that.
I'll mix up a little bit. I think he's the reigning defensive player of the year, Ruben Diaz. He's Portugal's new, basically young Pepe, and he's really shown it the last couple of years with playing at Man City. What is he, like 24, and he's already a superstar defender?
I'm going with I don't know how old he is, but I'm going with Reece James, man. I saw him his last goal in Chelsea's Champions League game. He scored a banger there, and he's young too. So I'm gonna go with him.
I'm going with Van Dijk. This year, he's coming back from a big injury, and he's not playing at the level we used to playing. We used to see him play, but I think he's gonna get back there. I'm just impressed by this guy. For the last 2 years, I never see a defender like him. Like even if you go back a while ago, I've never seen someone playing that well and being just such a his presence on the defense. Just how do we say that? Make all the other defender more calm and play the right way. So this guy is for me the best defender of the league for sure.
Absolutely, definitely a solid player, and I've got to give a shout out to Reece Williams as well. Like he's a very young player too. I think 20 years old, and he kind of had to step up after Matip and Van Dijk both got injured, and he's done amazing, I think. But yeah, definitely some solid defenders.
Biased.
Of course. Got to be. Top transfer of the year, Cristiano Ronaldo does not count. I'm going to have to go with Jack Grealish. I've been watching him play for a while. I've been watching him ever since he got punched in the back of the head in one of his games. He's a great player. It's very cool to see how much he's improved in the past little bit as well. So I've got to say Jack Grealish.
If we're going pound for pound, I think it'll be Aaron Ramsdale as of now. Hopefully it continues the way it is.
Yeah, I'm with Stefan on this one. Jack Grealish, just I didn't know what to expect with the transfer. He definitely outlived my expectations for sure so far. I know that's a small sample size, but Yeah, he looks right at home.
I think Lukaku, honestly, Chelsea's top of the table. They got a great coach, great team, and he kind of just fits in perfectly. Who can just score goals and just get those through balls in. I think he's probably the best.
I think so too. I like Grealish a lot, but Lukaku for me is the one who is shifting what uh, Chelsea has been able to do this year. And Grealish is good, but he's playing at City, right? If you remove him from the team, it's not going to change a lot. But if you remove Lukaku from Chelsea, you will see a big difference on how they are performing. And that's the way I'm seeing the best transfer. So I think Lukaku for me as well.
Awesome. So second last one here. Just want to know what your thoughts are. We kind of talked about a little bit, but sleeper teams. So I've got Wolves for me. They've just, I really don't like Wolves, to be quite honest, but we always struggle with them on Liverpool. I don't know why, but they this season and past seasons, honestly, they've been always up in those top 6, top 8 spots. I think they're a sleeper team, and they have been for quite a while.
I think this season's obvious one is West Ham staying in 4th, but again, we'll see how it plays out. But they're a big London team, so if they can build on this, it would be good for them. But obviously, not many other people, including myself, want to see that, them being a London team. Or hopefully, they drop out and sit as low as they possibly can. But for now, they're a sleeper team for this season.
Being a Wolves fan, I definitely don't consider them to be a sleeper team. They're just a stingy team to play against, and they're fun to watch. My sleeper team, I'm going off the board here, is Brighton. My reason is just they're just so fun to watch. Like the way they play, their formations, they're very aggressive, and I really like watching that. So that's my sleeper team, and they're in the middle of the pack right now, but they have a good coach and good system. So I think they're gonna kind of make not a huge push by means, but definitely can be top 8 for sure.
I gotta agree with Rajan, honestly. West Ham, Declan Rice is playing unbelievable, and I think Antonio is also a gross player too. So I think West Ham is gonna do something this year. They're doing well right now, so I would assume they'd keep it up, hopefully.
Yeah, I agree with you with Rajan and Nav. I think West Ham is just surprising everyone. But I will also say something that I hate saying, but Arsenal for me is kind of the sleeper team for a lot of reasons. I don't know how many memes you see of Arsenal, losing games and not playing well for the last 10 years, right? So seeing them trying to having that level of consistency right now and being top 5, it's just good. And I hope they're gonna finish amongst those seed, and top 4 would be great.
I want to touch on what Joel just said quickly, because if you look at who we've already played, Arsenal's already played. They're gonna they played a lot of top teams already.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have a good push.
Yeah. The struggle is we always struggle with small teams.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, right? So we just have to be consistent enough to be able to finish.
You used to be the other way around. You used to bat at the small teams and used to struggle.
Awesome. And just the last one before we wrap things up, guys. I just want to get our predictions for kind of the final team. So who do you guys think is going to win the EPL, and who do you think is going to finish top 4? So for me, unfortunately, I think Chelsea is going to win it this season, as much as I hate to say it. They just look so strong, and Liverpool's just not consistent enough. So for me, I've got Chelsea in 1st, Liverpool in 2nd, Man City in 3rd. And I think Dean's going to be really happy with this, but I think Wolves are going to finish in 4th. I think they will. Who have you got, Raj?
I definitely don't have Wolves in your top 4. But I think Chelsea will win.
Definitely not Arsenal either, that's for sure.
Oh, don't worry, you'll be in the championship a lot sooner than we will. I think Chelsea will probably win the league this year. I think they have a good shout to go for the Champions League as well. And for relegation, I'm hoping it stays the way it is right now. I think almost every Big Six team would like to see Newcastle get relegated. I think Norwich just enjoys going up and down year after year, so they'll probably go down. And I hope Burnley does go down too. They're like the new Stoke City in the league, and I think it'd be good for them to go down.
Who are your top four, Raj?
Top four, I'm just gonna put Arsenal in that fourth place. I think if we get one good player in January, we'll be a striker. I think that'll help us a lot.
So I think, I'm definitely gonna say as well, Chelsea's gonna win. I think what's really gonna set them apart from Liverpool is the African Nations Cup. What is there, 4 games during that span? It's gonna be tough, and I think that's kind of what's gonna separate them. And then I have Liverpool in second, Man City in third, and then of course the Wolves, baby. They're gonna make the 4th seed. I feel it. And then my bottom 3, I honestly think Newcastle's gonna pull it out. They're gonna do some transfer signings because they don't want to drop. So I think it's gonna be, what do I have here? I got Burnley, Watford, and Norwich are the 3 teams I think are gonna be relegated.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to say Chelsea to win too. I think we can all agree to that. Chelsea, Liverpool, City, definitely top 3, and then I honestly think Man U will flip it around and finish 4th. Honestly, I hate to say it, I don't like them. I hope they stay 8th, 7th, whatever they're at right now. But I think they're gonna pull it off. I think it'll be close with them and Arsenal though. So hopefully Arsenal it is at 4th, but I think Man U. And then relegation, I don't really care who gets relegated, honestly. But I will say this: I don't think Newcastle will. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, we kind of have the same pick, but I'm seeing Liverpool making the comeback and winning even without the players they're gonna lose in January. I'm seeing Liverpool winning, Chelsea second, City third, and hopefully Arsenal 4th. But I'm more seeing Man U coming and doing a kind of comeback and finish 4th. And what else? That's it, right, Stefan?
And 3
Relegation.
relegations.
I'm a little bit like Nav on that. Like, as long as it's not a mythic, like we saw Bolton going in championship. I was like really shocked at the time. Like, I don't know how many years back is that, but I'm not. The championship is so competitive now that you'll have that back and forth, and I really don't care who's going out.
Stefan, who's your 3 relegation teams?
My 3. I gotta agree with you on the Watford. I think Watford and Leeds are gonna drop out, and Norwich as well.
I was just gonna say, like, I didn't even know Leeds was that close to relegation. I'm kind of shocked.
You don't like Bielsa ball? You don't like Bielsa ball?
Don't like, sorry?
Was it what the coach is? What's the coach's name? Bielsa or Bielsa?
For Leeds?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Bielsa, yeah.
Because they had a good year last year, right? I just think the second year struggles, but I don't think they're gonna relegated because they have a good coach. The coach is good.
Yeah, but that coach, he runs on his system of playing is putting the pressure on the players like all the time, so they run a lot. Like, it's like pressing. He did a great year with Marseille. The second year, the player was just extenuated. They didn't play well because he demands a lot. His system demands a lot of the players.
Yeah, for sure.
He's a good coach.
They're a good team too. It's just, I don't know. They just had Daniel James leave as well. Like, they're in debt too. Like, they've lost money instead of gained money this season. It's just, I don't know. I feel like they didn't make many good moves, and they're just not prevalent enough. Like, they're not consistent.
Who did they even have? I don't know. I can't even name you a player on Leeds, to be honest. Phillips, maybe, if he plays for them.
Maybe.
I think Phillips will go to a big team. He signed a new deal recently, didn't he? Which was kind of surprising. Yeah, I think he signed a new deal recently. But if not, I think like what everyone's just saying, like they play such high press football. It's like a lot of times he's dealing with the midfield by himself. So I think he'd be like a good addition to a big team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll
that's a
take
problem.
Arsenal.
Like, it's hard to press so high when you don't have like the players to defend. like
Yeah.
I don't understand what their thought process is, but anyways, that about wraps it up for episode 28 of the Rookies podcast. I want to thank our viewers and our listeners just for tuning in. And again, I just want to thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys jumping in on this call and joining me today.
No problem.
It was
It was
fun.
great.
Yeah, anytime. I'll come back whenever.
Awesome. Glad to hear it. All right. Thank you guys. Have a good one.